Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. Sorry that I haven't returned to you anytime sooner. I just had to work a 10 to 2 shift at work today, so I did go into work today. I thought I wasn't going to be up for it, but I just decided to at the last minute. But basically, yeah, I'm returning to you late afternoon, early evening time for an album review, and this is for the next Marathon Studio album review for Underoath's discography, which is for their sixth album, Lost in the Sound of Separation, that I just got done listening to for their sixth studio album. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for this sixth studio album of Underoath, Lost in the Sound of Separation, and let you know my thoughts on it. So let's dive into this review. Now, I think this was a really good album, honestly. Breathing in a New Mentality has mostly Spencer Chamberlain screaming his lungs out in basically most of the song. I think the full song, honestly, because it's like 2.5 minutes or so, but it works very well. And then which I'm giving the first song a 5 out of 5, Breathing in a New Mentality. I love the drumming, I love the guitar work, and I love Spencer Chamberlain's screaming vocal potential in the song. So, yeah, it sounds really good. Anyone Can Dig a Hole, but it takes a real man to call it home was a really good song. Um, yeah, and I'm giving that a 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it musically, production wise, and the way the song is structurally sounding. It sounds really good. So, yeah. A Fault Line, A Fault of Mine was a really good song. Like I said, the majority of this album is mostly bangers. And this is another great album from them, honestly. Um, I'm giving the Faults a Fault Line, A Fault of Mine, a 5 out of 5, along with the second track, a 5 out of 5. Emergency Broadcast, The End is Near, is like a 5.5 minute song, so, or over 5.5 minutes, I should say. But it doesn't structurally sound too bad. So, um, for the 5 minutes and 45-second runtime, it's pretty damn good, honestly. Spencer Chamberlain screams in it sound really good, and I love it melody wise and drum wise, guitar wise, sound really good. So 5 out of 5 for the fourth song, Emergency Broadcast, The End is Near. The only survivor was miraculously unharmed, was definitely a banger for sure, a headbanger. It was really good. So 5 out of 5 for that one. We Are the Involuntary is another great song from them. I personally enjoyed it. I'm going through track by track on what I listened to and what my initial thoughts were listening to it and my honest thoughts. So yeah, I think the Created Void was my least favorite. I wasn't sure if I was feeling for it vocal potential with Aaron Gillespie. Uh, which his vocals are great in this album too. He does have some moments where he comes in some parts in the album and sings some songs, so it just depends on which song, of course. So it's mainly Spencer Chamberlain screaming through most of this album, but you do get some clean vocals from Aaron Gillespie from time to time in this album. But yeah, the Created Void is getting a 4.5 out of 5. It's a solid track. It's not terrible. It's just one of my least favorites. Uh, Coming Down is Calming Down was a great one. Aaron Gillespie and Spencer Chamberlain were sounding really good in this song, so great song. Highly recommend you check this song out for sure on the not new album, the 2008 album of theirs, Lost in the Sound of Separation. Uh, 5 out of 5 for track number 8. Desperate Times, Desperate Measures, another great song. Really like the chorus in the song. It sounds really good. And yeah, uh, Too Bright to See, Too Loud to Hear was mellow for most of it, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna feel for it, honestly. But it still amazed me with how good the song turned out towards the end of the track. So I was really amazed with how the outcome of how the second half of the song was going to sound. But majority wise, the song did play a lot of mellow tunes in it. It had a mellow melody, but then it got a little heavier towards the end of the song. So 5 out of 5 for that one. I did like how it was sounding. And then Desolation Earth, The End Is Here is pretty much the closing track, and it sounds really good. Honestly, mixing, production, and all that. And then closes out with a bang towards the end with how Spencer Chamberlain's coming in for some moments in the screams. And then it cuts out after that and then goes to some mellow parts to cut out the song to finish it. So, yeah, great way to end the album. Overall, production, mixing, and execution, this album was not that disappointing. It was really awesome. I really enjoyed it. It's not perfect, like 10 out of 10 perfect, but it's really awesome. So, overall, I think Lost in the Sound of Separation, the Underoath album, the 2008 album for their sixth studio album, was really awesome, meaning really good. It was excellent. I had a good time listening to it, and I highly recommend you check this album out if you haven't listened to it. So, for a score for me, I'm going to give Underoath's Lost in the Sound of Separation album a 9.5 out of 10. This was a really good album. My least favorite was The Created Void, but other than that, the rest of the songs were pretty good and sounding structurally very well done and very well received too. This and Define the Great Line were probably my favorite albums from them so far. But we'll just wait and see how I'll just wait and see how the next album's gonna sound, which is O Disambiguation, is what the next one's called. I'll probably be reviewing that tomorrow, and then delay the Erase Me re-review to Wednesday the 12th. So definitely comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of the Underoath album, Lost in the Sound of Separation, if you've heard it. And if you enjoyed this album review for Underoath's sixth studio album I just reviewed for their next marathon studio album reviews I've been reviewing for almost a week now. Comment below and let me know what you guys thought of it. Tap a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can. Support the channel. I will be returning to you for, I think, some movie reviews. I'm doing The Witcher Season 2 Episode 5 review, hopefully sometime tonight. I don't know when I'll get around to it, but if it gets delayed to like later tonight, sorry, my laptop's wanting me to update it. If it gets delayed to like later tonight, then I'll let you guys know. But basically, I had a good time listening to this album, and I highly recommend you check this album out. And it's definitely worth purchasing too, because it's that good of an album. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. Sorry, I cracked my knuckle for a moment. Hope you enjoyed this Underoath Lost in the Sound of Separation album review I made for you guys late afternoon, early evening. I did the best I could to make it as good as possible. Stay safe, take care, and as always, I'll see you in my next review.